Get ready to really suspend your disbelief for about 90 minutes. If you do, you might have a good time with this one. Let's talk Cocaine Bear. Hey guys, Dan here. This is Dan Reviews. Welcome to my spoiler-free review for Cocaine Bear. This is in theaters right now, and it's been talked about a lot here the last couple of months, just from the crazy trailer and just the concept as a whole, but it is steeped in a little bit of reality. We'll get into the true story kind of that inspired this movie here in just a moment. But first, I want to welcome you into Dan Reviews It. Thank you for finding this video. Tons of great stuff on the channel, movie and TV reviews alike, and I try to put up something just about every day. I've been pretty good about that so far in 2023, but please consider subscribing down below. Would love to have you aboard in that capacity, and if you're already one of my subscribers, comment below, like this video. All that stuff does help the channel, and I would love to hear from you on this one. Did you see the Cocaine Bear? What did you think of it? So this is, like I said, we're going to suspend our disbelief, I think, to watch this movie, because if you don't, I think it would be very easy to nitpick a lot of things that you could say, okay, well, that would never happen, or, why aren't people killing this bear? There's a lot of people with guns in this movie. Why did none of them, try and shoot the bear? There's a few things that you're just like, I don't know. But I think if you do suspend disbelief, you're going to have a pretty enjoyable experience, as I did with this one. But we'll get into my specific thoughts here in a moment. But essentially, this is based on a 1985 news item about a drug runner whose plane was going down, and so he threw duffel bag after duffel bag of bricks of cocaine out of the plane into this forest, and the drug dealers on the ground sort of knew that, okay, in the event of emergency, this is the drop spot, et cetera, et cetera. So you've got, a group of them coming to look for it, led by Ray Liotta, I don't think it's his very last performance, but it's certainly one of them, probably his last big performance anyway. So he's one of them. O'Shea Jackson Jr., who is Ice Cube's son, and he was in, Straight Outta Compton, and he's been in a lot of movies, actually. Very talented dude. So he plays one of the drug runners, or drug dealers, I should say, as well as Alden Ehrenreich in a role that we have not quite seen him play. Usually he plays kind of the pretty boy here. He's, unshaven and sort of, mourning the loss of his girl, and so he's just kind of a sad sack and whatever, sort of has to be drug along for the ride. But then you've also got Keri Russell, who plays a mother who knows nothing about the Cocaine Bear, but her daughter and daughter's friend went off into the woods to do some painting at this waterfall thing, and so they ditch school, so she's looking for them, basically. And then you have Margot Martindale playing the park ranger, along with Jesse Tyler Ferguson, who is like the, I don't know, not the security guy, but one of the like park people as well, anyway. But it's interesting that Keri Russell and Margot Martindale re-teaming here, because you may know them from The Americans, a show that I've been going through the last few months, and I think I have about a season and a half left. So it was kind of cool to see them on screen together. And not only that, but the little boy that they're looking for, his name is Henry, and that is the name of Keri Russell's character's son in The Americans. So, to have her on screen with Margot Martindale talking about Henry, it's like, wow, this is sort of deja vu. But anyway, and Henry is played by Christian Convery, who I spent the whole movie trying to think, okay, where do I know this kid from? Where do I know him? He is in this Netflix show called Sweet Tooth, which is really good. And then his friend, who is Keri Russell's daughter in the show, or in the movie, is played by Brooklyn Prince, who you may know from another horror movie called The Turning from a couple of years ago. Very bad movie. It was a retelling of The Turn of the Screw. But also she's in this great Apple TV Plus program called Home After Dark. So both the kids, I spent the whole movie thinking, like, where do I know these people? I couldn't place it. So I did have to look that up. But another couple of big names involved here are Phil Lord and Chris Miller. They are producers on this, and they, everything they do touches everything they touch turns to gold. You know, the Lego movie series, Last Men on Earth on Fox, Into the Spider-Verse, the Mitchells versus the Machines, you know, everything they do I've just loved. So nice to have them on board. And then Elizabeth Banks is the director here. I think that comes with some pros and some cons. I guess we'll start there with my review of the movie. But basically, she is a really likable person. I like Elizabeth Banks a lot. Great actress, both comedy and drama. You know, she does very well with. And she's even, you know, a great game show host, ABC's Press Your Luck. But I think she stumbled a bit with the Charlie's Angels movie. I thought that was okay. I thought it was just completely unnecessary to exist. And I think I gave it a C or a C plus or something. So, you know, in that average range. But I think she got kind of a lot of flack for that. And not necessarily for her directing, but just, you know, the fact that it didn't work and it was kind of a bomb at the theaters, largely, I think, fell on her shoulders, and she felt that. So there's some directing choices here that I thought she was trying way too hard with, like, you know, different angles and stuff that is just like, this is unnecessary. Like, at one point, the O'Shea Jackson Jr. character is on a payphone, and the camera is like looking up at him, and it just seemed like, all right, dude, this isn't, you're not Hitchcock here. This isn't Tippi Hedren in the phone booth and the birds. You know, like, why are we doing interesting shots here? The Cocaine Bear is interesting enough. So the con of that is I felt that she was trying a little too hard in the director's chair to prove herself that she could be a good director. And what's interesting is when she didn't do that, when she sort of let the story kind of, you know, not direct itself necessarily, but when she, you know, let the characters breathe a little bit, let the story kind of, you know, enter the view, it was a lot better. You know, it was a lot more watchable, because the stuff in this movie is so crazy that you don't need interesting camera shots. You know, you just let the Cocaine Bear, you know, do his thing and her thing. It turns out it's a female, we learn throughout the movie. But, you know, and I think the movie is better served that way. There's also a lot of things going on here, you know, between cops looking for the cocaine and the drug runners looking for the cocaine, and Kerry Russell looking for the kids and all of that, and the park ranger looking for the bear. And, you know, is there too much going on? Actually, no. It all seems to come together pretty well. I will say that the quote-unquote teens in the movie, because the Kerry Russell kids are actually kids. They're like, you know, I don't know, 12 or something. But then there's like these thug kind of, you know, kids, quote-unquote, who have been, you know, running around the park and robbing people and whatever. And, I mean, they look like they're 24. I don't know if that was done on purpose, because this is sort of a tongue-in-cheek movie. Like, I don't know. I want to think that the people involved were like, let's just throw people and call them teens, but like, let's make sure they look like they're 25, as sort of a nod to, you know, old movies like this. I don't know, or 80s movies that take place in the 80s. I want to believe that that was a choice that they you know, decided to make, rather than actually have it be believable that these kids are supposed to be 17 or 18 or whatever, because that part did not work for me at all. But again, we're suspending disbelief, right? The CGI of the bear, I think, does look pretty good. Not sure if I mentioned that already, but and it's funny. It's got very funny moments. It certainly doesn't take itself seriously, which I think was the way to go with this movie. I think if they did like a straight ahead kind of horror, it would turn out to be unintentionally funny. And so I think they leaned into that with the trailers. I think that's how kind of the buzz got started on the movie. Like, look at this, you know, crazy movie. What are they even doing with this? And I think the movie knew going into it, let's make this kind of silly. So there's a lot of laugh moments, but there's some legitimate gore here too. You know, there's some interesting kills. They definitely have, you know, a couple of times when I had to turn away. So I'll give it that. And I don't want to even really go into any more detail about that, because I think you should watch it for yourself. This is, you know, the movie that you want it to be. It is silly fun. I give Cocaine Bear a B. All right, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time on Dan Reviews It. Bye.